Ace Bailey is very polarizing to the Sixers community. I feel like most people line up with, oh, he's going to be a huge bust or he's going to be a star level player. I think the answer is probably going to be somewhere in the middle. I'm in the middle with him. I don't know. I honestly, I would have to get to know him more, and unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do that. That's up to the Sixers. I think the biggest question for me is, what is his work ethic? Is he going to change his mindset in terms of the grind when he gets that generational NBA money? Is he just going to, take his foot off the gas pedal? Because that's very easy to do. We've seen that in the past from Ben Simmons and other players. I think that's the biggest question the Sixers have to answer on every draft prospect, because the money they make nowadays is just outrageous. So it's easy to just kind of, mail it in. But the talent is clearly there. I mean, his mechanics, shooting-wise, is unbelievable. He can be a heck of an off-ball player. And in my opinion, the most underrated thing in basketball is having off-ball players that spread the floor. The weird thing is, everyone wanted Lauri Markkanen a couple months ago for the Sixers, and isn't Ace Bailey kind of like in that prototype? Lauri obviously better at getting to the rim, a little better handle probably at this point, but I mean, the main attraction of Lauri is that he can shoot at that size. And Ace Bailey, even though, barefoot, he's 6'7", with shoes he's still going to be around 6'8", 6'9". That's a lot of size. When it's all said and done, if you surround him with a good environment, he's going to be effective defensively. He's going to be able to work against multiple positions if you surround him and make him buy in defensively. He's also going to be able to rebound the basketball. Hypothetically, if you get the most out of him, that's what he should be. Or does he just want to be, tough contested, shot maker, offensive superstar who gives a damn about defense? The Sixers got to figure out if he really has that willingness to buy into defense, rebounding, and hustle. He's probably not going to be that guy where you say, run the offense because his handle is suspect. I think his development really hinges on the organization. For example, I think one of the most impressive teams right now in terms of development is the Minnesota Timberwolves. They have a bunch of boomer bust archetypes, like Jaden McDaniels in the wrong environment could just be like his brother, Jalen McDaniels. Naz Reid literally went undrafted and they found a way to make him work. Even their main superstar, Anthony Edwards, he came into the league. He did not want to pass the ball, and all of a sudden, he's turning into a great playmaker right in front of our eyes. But the one thing about Anthony Edwards that is clear, he loves the game of basketball. And once again, that's my biggest question. Does Ace Bailey truly love the game of basketball, or is he just doing this because he was incredibly gifted as an athlete all throughout his life? The dude is 18 years old. Of course, he's going to have bad habits. He has tunnel vision, I hear. He doesn't make the quick decisions passing-wise. So really, it's up to the Sixers. Do we trust their developmental staff to break those habits early on? Another thing about Anthony Edwards is he really bought in defensively. Like, if I was the Sixers, I would be like, yo, Ace, you are athletically gifted. There is no reason for you not to be an elite defender. I think having a coach like Nick Nurse would be very beneficial for him defensively. You've seen Nick Nurse get the most out of guys like Pascal Siakam, get the most out of guys like OG Anunoby. I feel like most people are focused on his offense, and rightfully so, his deficiencies and also, his shooting ability. But I'm kind of focused on his defense. What can he be there? I honestly see potential in him being an elite defender. And if the Sixers can get that out of him, it takes him to a whole nother level, and it maybe makes you overlook his flaws a bit more often. I wanted to share this paragraph from Sam Vecini. He writes for The Athletic. I feel like a lot of people are kind of taking what Rutgers did as a team and pinning it against Ace Bailey since they weren't very good. But listen to this. It's worth noting that Rutgers was a catastrophe when Bailey wasn't on the court. Even in Big Ten play, they lost Bailey's minutes by only 3 points per 100 possessions. When he was off the court, they lost those minutes by 23 points per 100 possessions per CBB analytics. His presence was clearly helpful, and I think that's what tracks most for me. Bailey is enormous. He's long. He's a real shooter, and he showed some defensive moments that were very positive in switch situations. I honestly think the Sixers are kind of like a best scenario for him because they're still going to try to win right away. So he's not coming into an organization like Charlotte where it's like, oh, free basketball, do whatever you want. Who cares about defensive intensity? Who cares about, rotations and things like that? But if Ace Bailey comes in and he's not doing the right things defensively, he simply is not going to play in his first year very much because the Sixers, even though they should probably be looking into the future, they're still on the books with Paul George and Joel Embiid's contract. So they're going to be trying to win. And if you're not buying into the winning things, the attention to detail, you're probably going to be sitting on the bench. And I don't think that's the same for Charlotte. Charlotte would be like, oh, let's just let him loose. Utah would be like, let him loose because he's probably one of their best players already. And they're not trying to win. I honestly think the comparison to Michael Porter Jr. kills his aura, kills what people think about him for whatever reason, despite Michael Porter Jr. being a very solid player. Quite frankly, that dude's a freaking warrior. If you guys watch him in this year's playoffs, he's playing with one arm. But overall, I'm comparing him to a 6'9" Klay Thompson. Because for whatever reason, when you bring up Michael Porter Jr., it kind of turns people off. And we don't need that type of negative aura next to our Ace Bailey. Yes, I'm fully bought in. Come on now. He has that Klay Thompson aspect where when he's got it going offensively, he's not taking a ton of dribbles. And a lot of it is just catching and shooting and then taking 1 to 2 dribbles when he beats a closeout or just shooting it over someone because he's got that size and length. And overall, looking at the rest of the draft class, I see a bunch of question marks outside of Cooper Flagg. I think Cooper Flagg is the only set in stone, okay, this dude is going to be a guy. Dylan Harper doesn't blow me away. I feel like both Ace and him are on the same level. VJ Edgecombe seems interesting to me, but I just feel like he's a role player. Like, he can be an elite level role player, don't get me wrong, an elite defender. But I don't know. I don't see really that star potential there. And I think for a top 3 pick, you want to have at least some optimism that this dude's going to be a star level player. The more I look into Trey Johnson, the more I like him. It's just that we already got Tyrese Maxey and Jared McCain. So do we really need another volume scorer at that position, at that size? I would rather go for the volume scorer, the volume shooter, Ace Bailey at 6'8", 6'9", whatever the heck size he is. I just don't think Trey Johnson is needed when you have Tyrese Maxey and Jared McCain. It's official. I'm on the Ace Bailey train. That is my pick at number 3. And something to keep in mind that is a little good fortune for us is I thought he sucked the first time I saw him. And think about this. I thought Jared McCain sucked as well the first time I saw him. So the fact that I initially thought he was going to be a bust, that's a good thing moving forward for the Sixers. But in all seriousness, that's all I got. Let me know your thoughts below in the comment section. Leave a like and subscribe. Have yourself a great day and peace out.